Liam Carter pushed through the glass doors of the office canteen, the hum of idle chatter and clinking cutlery washing over him. His tie was loose, his sleeves rolled up. Another late morning after another sleepless night, Sophia had come home. Past midnight again, her perfume too sweet, her excuses too smooth. Just drinks with the team, she'd said, but her lips had tasted faintly of mint, like she'd scrubbed away something else. He grabbed a tray, the stainless steel cool under his fingers, and forced himself to focus. Coffee. He needed coffee. The machine hissed as it spat out a bitter stream, the scent doing little to clear the fog in his mind. Rough night. Martha slid into the seat across from him, her sharp eyes scanning his face. She was the only one in accounting who didn't tiptoe around him, and right now he wasn't sure if he appreciated that or resented it. Something like that, Liam muttered, stirring his coffee absently. Martha leaned in, her voice dropping. You look like a man who's seen a ghost. He almost laughed. Not a ghost, just the slow unraveling of his marriage, one unexplained late night at a time. She hesitated, then said, I saw Sophia yesterday at La Rosa with Daniel Reeves. The spoon stilled in his cup. La Rosa wasn't a work lunch spot. It was dim lighting and wine by the glass, a place for conversations meant to stay private. She told me she was with Clara, he said, his voice too calm. Martha held his gaze. She wasn't. The words settled between them, heavy and undeniable. Liam's chest tightened, but he forced a shrug. Must have been a last-minute change. Martha exhaled, frustrated. Liam, I've got a meeting, he lied, standing abruptly. He left his coffee untouched. The rest of the day blurred into emails and spreadsheets. But his mind kept circling back to one thing. Daniel Reeves. Sophia had mentioned him before, asterisk. Just a colleague, asterisk, asterisk. Just a friend, asterisk. But there had been a lightness in her voice when she said his name. A flicker of something Liam hadn't wanted to examine too closely now. He couldn't stop. That night, Sophia was late again. Liam sat on the couch, the TV murmuring nonsense, his phone dark in his hand. When the key finally turned in the lock, he braced himself. She stepped inside, her cheeks flushed, her blouse slightly wrinkled. Sorry, she said, dropping her bag by the door. Traffic was hell. Liam studied her. You didn't answer my texts. I was driving at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday. Her smile faltered. What's that supposed to mean? He wanted to ask. He wanted to demand the truth, but the words stuck in his throat. Instead, he said, nothing, just long day. Sophia relaxed, pressing a kiss to his forehead before heading to the shower. The scent of her perfume, something floral, expensive, lingered in the air. And underneath it, just faintly, the crisp, cedar-like cologne he'd smelled on Daniel Reeves in the office elevator last week. Liam's fingers curled into fists. Tomorrow, he decided, he wouldn't wait for answers. He'd go find them himself. Liam's knuckles whitened around the steering wheel as he pulled into the visitor parking lot of Sophia's office building. The morning sun glared off the glass facade, sharp and accusing. He hadn't told her he was coming. Just a surprise lunch. He told himself, nothing suspicious, but his stomach twisted anyway. The lobby was all polished marble and echoing footsteps. The receptionist barely glancing up as he signed in. Third floor, she said, bored? Elevators to your left. He took the stairs instead, needing the burn in his calves to steady him. The third-floor corridor was sleek and impersonal, lined with abstract art that meant nothing, and doors that hid everything. Liam slowed as he approached the open-plan office where Sophia worked, his pulse loud in his ears. And then he saw her. Sophia stood by the printer, laughing at something her coworker had said. She looked radiant, hair loose over her shoulders, lips curved in a way Liam hadn't seen in months. Then Daniel Reeves stepped into view, tall, effortlessly put together. He leaned against the printer, close enough that his sleeve brushed Sophia's arm. He murmured something, and her laughter softened into a smile to intimate for coworkers. Liam's breath caught. A hand touched his elbow. You lost. He turned to find Martha, asterisk. Martha, here, asterisk. Her eyebrows raised. What are you? Monthly budget meeting, she said dryly. Then, following his gaze, her expression tightened. Ah, Liam swallowed. I just wanted to see. Martha studied him, then sighed. Canteen's downstairs. Let's get coffee. He almost refused, but the weight in her voice stopped him. The canteen was quieter now, the lunch rush yet to begin. Martha slid a cup toward him. You're not subtle, you know. Liam ignored the coffee, How long have you known? She hesitated. I didn't know, I suspected, because of La Rosa, because of the way she looks at him. Martha's voice was gentle, which made it worse, like he's the son. The words hit like a punch. Liam remembered that look. Sophia had once given it to him. His phone buzzed. A text from Sophia, working through lunch. Don't wait up, He exhaled sharply. I need to see it for myself. Martha frowned. See what? But Liam was already standing. The office was emptier now, most employees gone for lunch. Sophia's desk was vacant, her coat still draped over her chair. Then he heard it, a muffled laugh. Drifting from the conference room at the end of the hall, the door was slightly ajar. Liam moved like a man in a dream. Through the gap, he could see Sophia perched on the edge of the conference table, Daniel standing between her legs. His hand cupped her cheek, her fingers tangled in his tie as she pulled him closer. The door creaked. Sophia turned. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then her eyes widened. Liam! He stepped back. The last thing he saw before he turned away was Daniel's smirk. Liam didn't remember leaving the building. One moment, he was staring at Sophia, her lips still parted in surprise, Daniel's hand still possessive on her waist. And the next he was outside, the cold slap of wind sharp against his burning face. His keys were in his hand, his phone buzzed incessantly in his pocket. He ignored it. The drive home was a blur of stoplights and honking horns. His grip on the wheel so tight his knuckles ached. He should have been furious. He should have stormed back into that conference room and dragged Daniel out by his collar. But all he felt was a hollow, gnawing numbness, like someone had carved out his insides and left him empty. The house was silent when he arrived, too silent. He half expected Sophia to have raced home ahead of him, full of desperate explanations, but the only sound was the ticking of the kitchen clock. He poured himself a whiskey, the glass trembling in his hand. The first sip burned, but he welcomed it. Then the front door opened. Sophia stood in the doorway, her cheeks flushed, her breath uneven from running or guilt. He couldn't tell. Liam, she started, her voice unsteady. He didn't look at her. How long? Silence. He turned then, his gaze locking onto hers. How long, Sophia? She flinched. It's not, don't, his voice cracked. Don't say it's not what it looked like. Her shoulders slumped. 6 months, the air left his lungs. 6 months, half a year of lies. Of her slipping away while he'd been too blind, or too trusting to see it. Why? The word came out raw. Sophia hesitated, then stepped forward, her hands twisting together. It just happened. We were working late and that's not an answer. She exhaled sharply. You stopped seeing me, Liam, you stopped noticing. Daniel did. The excuse, because that's what it was, an excuse, landed like a slap. He wanted to rage at her, to demand how she could twist this into his fault, but the fight had drained out of him, leaving only exhaustion. So what now? He asked, quietly. Sophia's eyes glistened. I don't know. The honesty in her voice hurt more than any lie. His phone buzzed again. This time he pulled it out, a text from an unknown number, a photo of Daniel, smug and disheveled, still in that conference room, the caption, she's mine now. Liam's jaw clenched. Sophia frowned. What is it? He showed her the screen, her face paled. I never meant for, save it. He pocketed the phone, the numbness giving way to something darker, something sharper. Pack a bag, you're staying somewhere else tonight. For a moment, she looked like she might argue. Then with a quiet nod, she turned toward the bedroom. Liam sank onto the couch, the weight of the day pressing down on him. This wasn't just an affair. It was a war, and Daniel had just fired the first shot.